I'ma blow up.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Tara, and welcome back to Well of Spirits. If you haven't seen the other two ones, please go ahead and check those out to understand what's going on in the storyline. It's been really fun up to this point, and in this episode, we are going to be meeting the Rotten King. It's quite interesting, let's put it that way. But anyways, guys, let's get to it.
And give the recap here. The party was found by a courier tasked to deliver them to the kingdom of Julianos on invitation from the Rotting King. The courier had a guide, a small fuzzy creature that called itself Chapo Barrage. The party was then attacked by a group of bandits, of which all were killed, except one, Frankie, who received a free therapy session from Chapo and was spared so he might cleanse himself from evil. Underneath the cabin's floorboards, a pair of corpses, man and wife, were found concealing a lockbox containing a set of silver manacles, incessantly chanting. So Runo's spirit, as a result, is no longer responding. What will the party do? So I'll go ahead and take you guys back to the map that we were on when we left.
So
yesterday.
did you say, like, the Bengals have stopped chanting?
Oh, they're still chanting.
Oh,
No, they're still
okay.
chanting.
Oh, okay.
Incessantly, unceasing. They are not ceasing their chanting.
Who can hear this?
Is it annoying
besides
to us?
Bruno?
Pretty much everyone who is spirit sensitive, which is all of you guys, can
We're all
hear
spellcasters.
the manacles chanting.
I mean, Z's
And
probably just ignoring it because Z's used to it.
If you kind of like shut yourself off, like you just stop focusing on the spirit world, you don't hear it and it's not too obnoxious, but the second that you even slightly flick it on, there's just that overwhelming conceal, hide, conceal, hide, conceal, hide.
Well, since we did that, Z's just gonna stare at it and then just walk out.
That's
Okay,
completely fair.
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast silence on one condition.
Capybara approaching.
I need to know when our next long rest is.
You really can't know. That's one thing you literally cannot know. I'm sorry about that. About D&D is it's the party's decision when you guys long rest. You have to find a safe spot that you don't feel like you're going to get attacked on, and so on and so forth.
And we don't want to end up like that one time, Nate.
So can I ask?
I mean, if you wanted to clean out all the bodies in this cabin, you could have, albeit a slightly smelly but nice-ish place to sleep.
Do I have prestidigitation?
Can I ask what time it is during the day? Is it like midday?
You guys have been traveling for about half the day at this point. And it's kind of starting to get a little bit dark, but not exceptionally dark. It's like little after late afternoon. None of you guys have, well, I guess technically you do, Sereno, but is that watch functioning?
Oh, yeah.
Does it function like an actual
Yeah, no,
watch?
it functions. It functions.
He's like,
Okay.
it works.
As long as Pen is alive, it is functioning. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well then, Sereno, you would know it's around probably 6 something. Probably like 6:32 we'll go with.
Okay, yeah, so it's probably getting pretty close to our next long rest. To find a safe place. I guess so. As Chapo, like, this is his first time actually seeing the cabin and seeing everything that's happened. You know, with the dead bandits and the couple
Oh,
that's
right. He's been on the other side of the map.
yeah.
He's been giving
yeah.
three therapy sessions.
So he's gonna come up and he's gonna see all of this and he's just gonna sigh. Oh, that's real sad. It's always sad when people don't lives are cut short like that. Well, I think I'm gonna give him give him a nice burial. Let the plants get a little bit more out of their life if they can. So then he'll go over to like around here, sort of in that crook area. He's gonna wild shape. So use one of them. He's gonna wild shape into a very large badger, or something with a burrowing speed, and just dig out a couple, a couple graves for all the different people who have died here. And then over time, he's gonna give a nice burial to everybody.
Are capybaras related to badgers?
They are a rodent and they are mammalians, so technically yes.
I don't think
badgers aren't a rodent. They're like
they're kind of their own classification.
Let me check.
Along with otters and
Wikipedia.
I think they might be a mustelid.
They are. They are mustelids.
Cool beans. Yeah, so they're not exactly closely related, but they are mammals, so they do. So obviously you've just buried this. The manacles really don't cease at all. Is there anything you guys intend to do with them?
Z has nothing planned for it. I mean,
and do keep in mind, I'll just go ahead and give a recap on what the manacles look like. These aren't like your standard little bangles. They are like these big, like hand cuffs. Like they cover the entirety of the hand and lock around the wrist, and there's a chain interconnecting the two of them.
Sorry. Is that with Francis casting silence? They are still like chanting. It doesn't really work, or is
don't want to cast silence until I know that we're gonna rest soon.
We do not know that for sure.
That's like, I suppose the question is, does everybody want to?
I mean,
I'm
fine. It seems safe enough. Doesn't bother me nonetheless. So.
Sleeping with corpses? That's cool.
Well, I mean, you think Z don't care? Like.
Almost Chapo decided to move those two corpses as well.
Yeah, he's giving them a nice little burial underneath the tree.
Okay.
Oh, he's so nice. Look at him.
Yeah,
This is why we keep him around.
I've used a spell slot. Down a little bit of hit points, not from fighting though. But yeah.
No, is that when you fell off the wall?
That is from when I fell off the wall.
Okay.
Do we know how close we are to Julianos from here?
Chapo, roll me a. Let's just go with a standard history check.
Could I imagine there are some maps in the Magistrate. Could I roll a history as well?
Sure, go ahead.
I ask because I have a +5 to that.
Bucket, I just want to know if Z knows.
And I still get the same roll as Chapo even with a +5.
God damn, we all have no fucking clue.
I get the exact same roll as Chapo when Chapo is a -2 and I have a +5.
If you would like, Francis, you could also roll a history, since everyone else went ahead.
Okay, I'm going to roll history. Just check what my modifier is. You know what? All right.
If you open up your sheet, you can just click the little history button in the skills. Oh, 19.
All right, so you would know from your kind of like checking up of the surroundings, making sure that you knew the area, and probably some of your travels, that the Kingdom of Julianos is kind of roughly about a day's worth of travel away from this location. As it's if you guys are breaknecking for a whole day at running speed, mind you.
Well, at least someone knows where we're at.
So it's still quite a good ways away, especially considering the fact that you guys have been on the road for a little bit now.
Okay, with that in mind, I really want to take a long rest.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
These don't care.
I'm good with that. Yeah. So, how long does silence even last?
10 minutes, I think.
I
Or an
don't
hour.
want to cast Silence until I'm full of spell slots. And also,
You should probably. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think you should worry too much about managing your spell slots that extensively. You can really cast a lot of spells in a day.
I only
and
have
still have more.
two spell
Warlocks-
slots.
Warlocks
Warlocks are an exception, but clerics have quite a few spell slots. I don't think you need to worry.
I have 5 cantrips, but only
I don't think
2
you need to worry.
actual spells.
Yeah, you have 2 slots.
Yeah, Francis, I don't think I would recommend worrying too much about your management that much. However, I would recommend from just I get less of a DM to player, but a player to player kind of situation. Casting a spell like this before you long rest is better because you'll get the spell slot back. Whereas if you cast it after you long rest, you'll be down a spell slot for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
okay, I will cast Silence now.
Okay. So this lasts up to 10 minutes. It kind of like the chains kind of warble. And now instead of chanting, they're just vibrating in your hands right now. Just up and down and up and down and up and down, like quite violently. All that energy seems to be going somewhere, and now in this case it's going into moving.
Oh?
So now they're just kind of shifting back and forth.
7 hours and 50 minutes we'll have to deal with this.
Then y'all over there just complain about it, and Z's like, I don't know what the big deal is.
Yeah, I'm going to just throw them in the magic bag.
Okay.
Oh wow, how's this gonna go?
I don't know, but I want to see.
You kind of put the manacles in your bag of holding,
That's
and
great.
the bag of holding itself, it's silenced right now. So the bag of holding also has now just started vibrating on your back.
So even when my spell ends, it'll stay silent.
Potentially. That's unless the bag of holding decides to start chanting, which I don't even know. I'll have to roll the percentile chance for that.
That's
Well, you know,
fun.
percentile is better than 100%.
Yes, that's true. That's true. There's still a chance that it won't start. So you know.
Yeah, it all depends on where the manacles landed in the bag. If they've got like 2 points of contact, like on the wall or something, you know, that kind of something like that.
Well, here's the thing.
Something dumb like
I don't
that.
remember. Does it count? Is it just like is the bag of holding just like a big void, or is it like just a bigger bag?
If
I
remember correctly-
honestly don't know.
If I remember
I think
correctly,
it could.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, if I remember correctly, I think it's basically like a small pocket universe inside the bag. And then if the bag breaks, the pocket universe is popped into the astral plane. If I remember correctly.
So we'll
yeah,
we'll
it
see.
says-
I'll still roll a percentile dice just to see what happens.
Extra.
Because I didn't plan this far ahead.
Space, blah, 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 blah. If it breaks, things go to the astral plane.
Like I did not plan this far ahead.
I didn't expect you guys to tuck it in a bag of holding. I thought it was a joke.
No, I was being serious.
Well, assuming you guys are gonna rest up here, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and roll that percentile dice right now. Cool. Yeah, the bag continues to vibrate, but it remains silent.
You know what? This is less annoying than the chanting at the very least.
That's
Okay,
back
so
to Raj,
do
am
we
I right?
consider ourselves long rested?
Actually, you know what? Who should be the victim?
Oh,
Roll
God.
me a d12.
Yeah, I will.
Yes, roll me a d12 hippo.
Oh no.
I will say like.
That's a 9.
Oh
Alright, you're
no. Oh.
Ah,
Oh.
You guys get a long rest then.
And that means
what
all
would have
temp
happened?
HP is gone.
Oh,
You
you
get
guys
your
will
health
figure
slot
out.
back, your temp HP is
I'll-
gone. But you're back to full HP if you lost any.
I'll say now, I have two numbers in a d12 that spawn a random encounter every time you guys long rest or travel.
Oh my God.
There's 2 numbers in there that if I need some kind of combat or something like that, I make one of you guys roll a d12, and if you get one of those 2 numbers, there will be an encounter.
I'm gonna try to figure out eventually what these numbers are.
Oh, you'll figure them out pretty fast, but it doesn't
So
it's not like you can change
basically,
your odds.
Z and its humanoid goes into the corner. The humanoid sits down. Z just curls up on the lap and sleeps. It's low-key cute. Low-key.
Now the real question is, who the heck gets the bed?
The capybara.
I was just gonna sleep on the carpet next to the fire.
No, the capybara gets the bed. It's the most deserving.
Sorry, also, how long does your artificial spirit last? I don't know.
I think it disappears, and then I just have to.
I think it's an hour, yeah. Like the other cannon.
An hour. It's an hour, so.
Yeah. Okay. Goodbye, artificial.
I'm gonna eventually make
There's a way to
some artificial
sustain.
spirits of the other kinds, because just the rock electric one kind of boring.
Yeah, that's fair.
Some other variants.
You will have to learn the processes of making those potentially. We'll see.
I don't know what any of the good ones are.
Yeah, we'll
Fire
see.
is the fastest, so I might make one fire one.
So you guys get a long rest stand. It's pretty uneventful. I'm assuming you guys put up a watch, yeah?
For at least the first 2 hours, one of my animal friends comes by and posts up watch for me while I sleep, because that's just something they regularly do, which is my it's that thing where I can use Find Familiar using a wild shape. So
Yeah.
that lasts for 2 hours. So that'll cover me.
Sounds good. So the first 2 hour watch is kind of covered, and then I'm assuming you guys divvy up the rest of the watch.
I was just gonna
The courier
my own
does
familiar do
not enter the house, though. He stands by the door.
I was just gonna let my own familiar cover the rest of that.
It's probably around morning time, earlier in the day, that you guys awake. The courier has not moved from his position.
Dear God.
Do I know from Do I know from my familiar if the courier was just awake the whole night?
The courier's eyes did not move, besides scanning the thing. He didn't close his eyes once.
Jeez.
I would know traveling with him for a while. It's just something he does.
Very
Okay.
often, yes. He doesn't sleep.
Let me just change my prepared spells.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this.
Go ahead and do that. I'm going to keep moving forward while you're changing your spells, so we don't stall here.
Alright, I'm gonna unprepare silence and prepare magic weapon.
So there's a lot of like things you have to do when you wake up. Kind of gather your stuff, collect yourself, wake up, prepare spells, anything like that. Go ahead and take care of it. The courier seems rather impatient, and Chopper, this is something you've gathered. He doesn't seem to like stopping ever. He does kind of like shift out of the doorway as you guys are awake, though, and he will silently clean his weapon while he waits for you guys to shuffle out.
So Z wakes up, and the cat form of Z never moved during the night. It was the humanoid that just woke up, and stands up and does that little stretch thing that cats do. You know what I mean? Yeah, that stretchy thing that cats do, and then they both just casually stroll out of the building.
I've swapped healing word in favor of divine favor, because I figure that Chapo is now our healer.
Oh yeah, Chopper likes to heal people. It's always good to make him feel better.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Alright. Is there anything else you guys would like to do in this area before you guys shuffle out?
I'm good.
Alrighty. Was that?
Oh no, I was just checking what tool proficiencies I had because I didn't remember if I took herbalism. I did not.
Okay. Bruh. Sorry, a lighter fell off my desk. So the courier kind of shifts ahead and leads the pack as per usual, guiding you guys along the road. And it's about a... Go ahead and set your order if you guys have anything like that special.
I'll be right behind the courier.
Z is more towards the middle back.
I'm more towards the middle front.
Okay, I guess I'll be in back.
Yeah, it's like this.
And then there's the there's like a day's worth of travel. Nothing overly eventful happens on the travel. You might see the occasional game here on the trail, or a traveler passing you by on a wagon. You know, so the average stuff you'd expect to see on a high trade road. After about a day or so's worth of travel, just finding spots to camp up, potentially more than a day, you kind of lose track a little bit. That's DM speak for I don't really remember how many days it takes to get to Juliano's. But it's a little while. I'll say you guys burn through about 4 rations if you guys are keeping track of that.
Are we keeping track of that? That's up to you.
See, the thing is, I don't even know if I eat.
I don't think we need to take too much care of rations, but for the most part, you guys kind of have a while to travel and, you know, camp up in the woods. Probably not most comfortable, and it's definitely a little eerie on the road at night, but otherwise, you guys make it to the very first gate there of the Kingdom of Julia.
Ooh, fancy. Oh god, this is big.
map.
Where
So
are we
you
at
guys
on the map?
You guys would be entering from the northern side as the path kind of veers up across the mountain path and down towards following the river. So you guys have been following the river for a bit, and you guys would come down around 6 here. If you guys would like to go ahead and spawn in your tokens or anything like that, I'll go ahead and drag some of you out.
Alright, if I could only find my...
Here we go.
Oh, thank you.
Chaco's enormous for some reason.
Incredible.
Alright, so you guys have entered through the city, and let's pull this up.
Yep, my token disappeared.
Nope, it's back.
So you guys enter through the past the riverside city, and this is kind of like a smaller area. It's a small exterior town of more simple folk. You know, your small traders, your workers, and some small farms. Kind of dot the outside of the gates. These people don't seem to really be like ingratiated into the city fully. They seem kind of outside it.
Okay, as I'm walking by the farms, I just give a friendly wave to the farmers, and I druidcraft and, you know, get some of their crops going a little.
And this is just like a small farming village?
It's kind of like a small outsider area.
Gotcha.
Outside the city. It's kind of built up against the wall. The homes are a little more like ranch homes, effectively. They're not really built into any specific city layout. It really just feels like people kind of slap things anywhere they fit, basically.
Oh, that sounds like my everything in life.
Yeah, I have a question. Not out of character because our character's not here yet. Is this an airship?
Yes.
Okay. I just needed to confirm that.
Wait,
Yes,
is what
it
an
is.
airship?
Number 2.
This.
Oh, let's see.
The sun's gem.
Sun's Gem. Let's just check. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I see it now.
That's cool.
So you guys are entering from the northern gate, and I will say that this gate seems very protective. However, it seems oddly older than the infrastructure that surrounds it. It feels kind of familiar in a weird way. Despite being old, it seems to have been held up against the test of times really, really well. And as you guys enter closer... Oop, did you lose Hippo?
Hippo kind of poof. Did he lose connection?
I'm going to assume that's a yeah.
Oh. Whoops. I mean, he's still in Roll20.
Yeah, they're still online. I think they may have accidentally left the thing. I'm gonna ping them right quick.
Yeah, Discord's probably just being.
Oh yeah, Discord's a bitch.
Well then.
I hear a ding. I'm like, huh.
Yeah, that was certainly interesting. Well then. I'll just let you guys catch him up when they get back.
Okay.
As you guys get closer to this northern gate, a few guards seem to stop you, kind of eye you over to see if you're the part of this common rabble on the outside of the gate. They kind of sit there and pause. You will notice one thing though, that they're all covered head to toe. You don't see an inch of skin on them. They seem like they're hiding all of their features on purpose.
That's not concerning.
Interesting. Yeah, so as we approach, Chapo just goes, "Oh, hey there. My name's Chapo Marat. This is everybody else. If they want to introduce themselves, they can. This gentleman here asked us to come here on behalf of the king. How you doing? How are you guys doing?"
They kind of look over at you. I mean, obviously they really haven't seen something quite like you before. So they give you kind of an odd, inquisitive look, but see that the courier is standing kind of off to your right shoulder, and they quickly kind of avert their gaze away from you, like they're trying not to be rude.
Oh damn!
Can I make an insight check to see if I can?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, feel free to make an insight check.
Yeah, just because I want to see if yeah.
So, you can tell that it's less your presence that has made them shut up and kind of look away from you. It is very much the fact that the courier has just stepped out and they seem oddly afraid of him.
Nope. Poor thing.
Okay. Can I just tell them that we come in peace and show them the Rotting King's invitation?
Yeah, exactly.
His computer crashed. Okay, thought so. Something like that.
So, yeah, you kind of pull out the note and you show it to them. And they all simply step aside, kind of bow, and one of them looks up at you and goes, "Ah, yes, we've heard that there might be someone coming to our location. Please do enjoy your time in the city. But be mindful, everything here is gilded. Keep yourself gilded as well, friend." And they kind of step aside and open up the gate.
That's real nice of you. Thank you. What does that mean?
I bow back and continue onward.
As you guys enter the city, instantly you recognize the fact that this is not like any other city you've seen. Everything else has been this kind of classical, imperialistic, almost medievalish design of a castle. This area seems completely different. It looks, everything is speckled in like a gold-colored material. You're not sure if it's actually gold or not, but everything here is fancy coppers and bronzes and golds, and it's all gilded. And every single person you see in here that walks the streets is covered head to toe in robes and stuff like that obscures their figure. No one. You can't see an ounce of skin. And to the point, it probably almost makes you feel naked just how much these people are covered compared to you guys.
I mean, clothes are a choice for Chapo.
Same with Z.
But you definitely probably seem very underdressed compared to these individuals.
In a very monotone voice, the humanoid speaks. Well, they're a bit extra, that's for sure.
Welcome back, Ceruno.
Hello.
I'll give you a recap. They came up to the northern gate here, and when they came up to the northern gate, they were interrupted by two guards. The guards kind of seemed a little afraid of the courier. They showed the note, came in, and everybody in the city is coated head to toe in robes. You can't see any of their skin. It's just hidden. And also the whole city is gilded in gold and brass and bronze and all these other fancy different colors and things. And the stone itself seems fancier cut stone than anything you've really ever seen. It seems like this place is oddly advanced compared to what you're used to, especially considering you're used to the classical, medieval, imperialistic blend that is the rest of the kingdoms.
Where to?
Well, you guys don't really know your way around the city. You could probably ask someone, but right now this is very alien to you.
I guess I look up at the courier and I say, "Oh, hey, buddy, you know where this kingly person is, so we can go meet him. He seemed real interested. He's meeting us, and I hate to be rude and be late."
He kind of dips his head and reaches into his jacket and pulls out a map, kind of, and hands it to you. It's all covered in silk and crap like that. It just seems oddly exorbitant for what is effectively a simple tourist map.
Okay.
Chopper just stares at it, and then he hands it to Ceruno.
It's like, you deal with this.
Also, Ceruno, there was a warning that you missed from the guards. The guards said that everything here is gilded, from the people to the streets. So you yourself should try to gild your movement, your expression, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Wait, does that just mean show no emotion?
Perhaps it could. Be
Z's already doing that. We good.
It could be no emotion. It could just be courtesy. You really don't know it's so different from everything else.
Can I just do an insight into that?
Yeah, feel free.
You know what? Yeah, sure. Might as well do that as well. That's a good idea.
That's an 11. The Chapo got much better. Oh wait, did
Chapo rolled
I got
back
a
for
19.
Okay, Z, you're kind of used to to kind of grasping the undersides of what people say and understanding the hidden meaning to words. What they're trying to say is basically everything here is fancy and courteous. Effectively, you have to play yourself up. You have to be courteous, you have to be fancy. Brashness here and roughness just doesn't seem like the norm.
If only I had
Good deal.
to make us look more fancy.
Basically, Z does relay that information to the party.
Okay.
Does this map just look like the one?
Yeah, I handed you the map, and it looks exactly like the map that you currently see. It even has all of the descriptions and stuff like that. Or not the descriptions, but the words.
So where is the king's thing? I'm assuming he pointed.
I'm assuming
The
it's number
king-
1.
Yes, the
I'm
king
assuming it's the middle.
holds himself up in the Tower of Doors.
Gotcha.
So question, what's this?
That right there is the headquarters of the Clockwork Accord, as it says on the map.
What is the Clockwork Accord?
I mean, there's really no way to tell from where you guys currently are.
All right, Z's
we
just
ask the
gonna,
courier?
Z's gonna,
Wait, no,
you know,
he's
just walk on in. You know. Yeah, well, just Z's just
Feel
walking
free
through the
to-
city.
Feel free to move yourself anywhere you guys.
Z saw this on the map. I'm gonna check this out.
Okay. You guys are welcome to split yourselves up or continue together wherever you guys would like to go. This really opens up, so this is completely up to you guys where you guys want to go.
Yeah, I will definitely say Demon. Saruno is also probably interested in the more like technological stuff like the airship and whatnot. And,
Okay.
But the Clockwork Accord sounds like a more technological thing.
Very much so.
Oh, so he's gonna
Seems
join
a little
Z?
more lawful than my
Yeah.
tastes would allow.
Sweet.
And Choppo's just kind of following what everyone else is doing, I guess.
Alrighty, the courier kind of stops at this midpoint here, and he simply posts himself up in one of the many guard positions that line the streets, and he simply just kind of sits there while you guys explore. Here in this building, as you guys approach it, it seems like the whole land around it has kind of been stripped and harvested for precious metals and things. It's like a mine yard around this, and in the center is this very fancy building covered in glass and brass and all kinds of different things, with a bunch of people kind of quickly shuffling about from position to position inside the thing. All of them hurriedly scratching down notes here. Someone drops their papers, scurries them, picks them back up, and then rushes to a different location. And it just seems very hectic, and yet somehow interconnected like some kind of weird system. Chaos, but controlled.
Controlled chaos, huh?
This is baffling to Choppo. There's not a plant for like a couple hundred meters, and
There
everybody's-
are, you will notice here that even the grass feels fake.
Ooh, poor Chabo.
Oh no, like Choppo's just gonna look down at this grass and be like, "Oh no, buddy, how you feeling?" He's just start talking and petting the grass, be like, "Are you doing okay? You don't look so good there, buddy."
It seems to be bare, taken care of, clipped, watered, but it just feels unnatural.
All right, I
Oh,
want to
no.
look around and see if I notice anything particular. So would that be? Would that be perception? Would
Yeah,
perception?
hit me with a perception.
Okay. Oh shit. I'm taking that as a no.
You can't seem to make sense of all the chaos that's going on around you.
Which is funny considering Z is chaos. That's hilarious.
Mhm.
As someone who is also chaos, can I also roll that?
Feel free. I mean, anyone can make a roll if they want to, just to
Yeah,
see
I
if they
also
notice
like
anything.
Oh, you're better than mine.
Yeah, I only have 12 wisdom. Well, 13
You can
wisdom.
kind of tell, Hippo, that this area is. It seems like a bunch of apprentices here are scurrying about from workshop to workshop. Each of them seems to, oddly enough, carry a little pocket watch that dangles off of their hip, and that's all you can really expressly notice here. Though the doors to the Clockwork Accord's headquarters are wide open. If you guys would like to step in.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Go in.
Let's just go in.
Right. So I'll go down list of descending. Saruno, this area feels like home to you. It just seems everything is this perfect blend of chaos, melding, mixing. Workers, workshoppers, inventors, and the like are all scrambling about trying to piece things together. You've got people using what seems to be magic to you, just kind of flicking things around and building up little constructs that fall apart. And then they repeat that process over and over again. You might see one or two semi-working constructs kind of shambling around the place, almost awkwardly wonky.
Yeah, I love the fact that coincidentally, I also have like a little stopwatch type thing as well.
Yeah. So, as far as you can tell, this place seems to be very similar to the kind of work that you do. And in fact, you do see people trying to create artificial spirits around the place. And there are a few shambling about.
Yeah. Suruno's like looking at all this. He's got Hen like kind of hovering over the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
The artificial spirit is not like active right now or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Then this area just looks like your average everyday workshop factory to you. You can tell that people are messing with like magic here, but from your point of view, I would imagine it probably doesn't spark your interest all that much.
Yeah.
It's basically just a bunch of nerds mucking about and creating fake spirits, or trying to.
Yeah, fake spirits aren't that appealing.
Yeah. Francis, this area would definitely seem very different to anything you've ever seen wandering the place. And you've seen workshops before, but they were usually workshops for simple luxuries and sometimes weapons, but nothing like this before. And Chapo, this area is probably completely unnatural to you. There isn't a single plant in sight.
Oh God!
Chapo's upset.
Chapo is upset. He's not deliberately like sad or mad or anything. He's just like, oh, I don't believe I get here. I'm afraid.
Aww.
Managed to make Chapo sad.
Oh, we made
Evil
Chapo
DM
sad. How could you?
Yeah, I know, I'm awful. You will notice, Saruno, that as you kind of like take in the surroundings, probably in awe, you see one particular individual kind of shift about with these large boulders kind of being dragged around behind him, and he flops it up onto a workshop table that seemed to be kind of empty. Someone kind of gives him a angry glance as they move their section over to the left, and he starts spinning, weaving magic into these boulders, and a large artificial spirit kind of shambles itself to life and then walks out the door into like the mining area.
In Primordial, just as it's walking out, Chapo's just gonna go, oh, hey buddy, you feeling alright? I know it's... Hi.
The artificial spirit will spare you a passing glance and just go, and then go back to work.
Jesus. Okay, well, fine. Damn. Z, yeah, not taking interest in it. Z wanders off again, just leaving.
Fair enough.
Chapo will wait for Saruno, but he'll wait outside, kind of trying to druidcraft some semblance of life into this grass that is...
Saruno is at the time completely ignoring the rest of the party and just, looking around the place.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a haven of everything you've ever tried to create, and it's basically it looks like your old like partially put together or like hastily put together workshop that you built in your room in the magistrate building. It looks like everything you've tried to make, but here on a big scale, and there's lots of people trying to do what you do.
Everyone's
to varying
busy.
degrees of success.
Yeah, everyone busy over there. Z wandered off and is now just roaming the streets and ended up over here.
That is completely fair. Z, you have come across the statue of the Starry Lady, and I will go ahead and show that to you. There you go.
Ooh.
So that is the statue of the Starry Lady. It's kind of like a large golden statue that seems very, very artificial. There's gears and clockwork inside it, and it kind of shifts and moves and points towards the sky. And then a few minutes pass, and its finger shifts to a different position in the sky. And it just repeats this process the longer that you look at it.
Do I notice anything
people...
particular? I did roll an 18 in perception.
You will notice that it isn't pointing directly where this large like observatory buildings, like telescope, is shifting and pointing around, and this large like dish on top of it, and it's following wherever the statue seems to point.
Ooh.
There are some people sitting around hurriedly scribbling down notes and watching it move and scribbling down more notes, and that's the best that you can gather from it.
Okay, so he's just gonna sit down and observe them for a moment.
Okay. I'll tell you what comes with your observation with everyone done in the Clockwork Accord.
Yep.
Yeah, around this time, Serena has finally realized that the rest of the party has left the building.
Literally.
You never know, there might... Ooh, well, you went flying.
What?
You're all the way over on the 10 for me.
I'm still at this
Yeah,
place.
yeah. On my screen.
I just moved my token outside of the door.
Yeah. Alright, yeah, for me, you went all the way down to the 10, like at this weird spot.
All the way down to this, like, train track area. Wow.
Yeah. So as you guys leave, you'll notice Z has kind of taken up position watching this statue. That, Z, from your observations, you can tell this thing, the people around you have no idea in what world this thing is doing. And you have noticed that nobody has gone in or out of that observatory building at all.
Okay, so what the humanoid is going to stay out, and Z is actually going to, cat its way inside.
If the rest of the party would like to follow, you may.
I love how I said cat its way inside.
Yeah.
That's a verb.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I guess once if we meet up at some point with the humanoid, Choppo's gonna see the cat moving forward, like, oh, hold on there, friend. Where are you going?
At this planetarium place.
Mm-hmm. So...
At this point, Z's really just looking for something that could benefit it.
From what you can tell, this place is full of archaic technology that no one seems to have understand. The floor is covered in a thick, and I mean thick, layer of dust. No one has been in here for ages. There's the sound of machinery moving all around you. Large bellows of steam hiss, and puffs of mist hit you in the face as you kind of maneuver through this machinery. There are some places that it look like people might have worked in the past, but it looks like no one has come in here for ages.
So you said there's like stuff written? Is that what you said?
There are some workstations with a few scribbled notepads and stuff like that, but it all seems very rough.
Can I roll something to see if I know what this is?
Feel free.
Okay, what would you say would be best for it?
What languages do you know?
Hold on.
Do you have Eyes of the Runekeeper? Or no?
Yeah, if you have Eyes of the Runekeeper, then you can understand this. without anything.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it says you do.
Wait, I do? Where?
Under your known invocations.
Oh, I didn't click on that. Yeah, Eyes of the Runekeeper, yeah. Yeah,
So
I have that.
you would understand what has survived the test of time, and it is the Celestium has moved at an unnerving pace. The Starry Lady has been pointing at celestial objects that we have not since recorded the location of. It seems like it is getting closer, and that is the only page that has seemed to survive.
A celestial object is getting closer. Dear God! Okay.
Guys, the moon's gonna fall on the planet.
Totally the moon.
Definitely the moon, and not a different planet.
No, not at all. It can't be, right? So that's
Yeah,
basically it, besides all the dust?
Nothing else to survive. It seems like this place has been thoroughly abandoned. Like, there's an effort to make sure nobody comes in here.
Jeez.
But,
Now
that's for
Z...
public safety or not, but...
Well, Z's now curious as to why they abandoned it, considering they knew a celestial object was starting to come towards them and getting closer over time. Now what? That's it. Now, that's just curiosity at this point. Alright, well, with that, Z, the cat just, makes his way back to its humanoid and, yeah.
As it comes out, Chapo's gonna say, "Oh, hey there, friend. You find anything interesting in there?"
All Z does is just flick its tail a little bit and continue walking.
So now the rest of the party has no idea. That's great.
And the rest of us don't have Eyes of the Runekeeper.
Yeah, so you guys can't even read it. There's very much.
Talking about cat.
I will say that the Starry Lady and both the Celestium seem far older than most of the buildings surrounding. That much I'll say. Anything else you guys like to do in this area?
I'm basically good for that. Hi, sweet boy. What are you doing? My cat came to visit me.
Z has visited you IRL.
Yes,
IRL.
exactly. Well, he is a black and white cat, so it's pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
50% Z.
50% Z, yep.
Yeah, I guess if everyone's okay with it, Chapo will suggest. Well, that was all fun, but I think that king person's we don't want to keep him waiting. That'd be kind of rude, wouldn't it?
In a monotone, the humanoid replies, "Yeah, that would be rude. Besides, curious to see what this individual's like."
I'm just checking the map where we have to go.
That is position number 1. That is the tower doors.
And then I realized we passed by.
The courier has
literally
spotted
right
you guys
before we
moving down that location and will.
Wow, he's
Yeah,
not
she's
fucking
like-
creepy.
I'm not gonna go inside, but I noticed we passed by a place called the Workshop.
Yes, that is in fact. I will give you a quick description as you pass by. The workshop appears to be everything that the Clockwork Accord was, but on an industrial scale. It seems to be churning out gilded objects and small artificial spirits that hastily scurry about the place, cleaning it up and making sure that the city is, well, perfect.
Alright.
Chapo, I think you'll be pleased to know that this is the only area in the city so far that has any shrubbery or plants at all.
Hey there, friend.
They're still very much unnatural to you, but they are in fact there.
Hey there, friend. Aww. That's so fucking cute.
Found an oasis.
I will say, oddly enough, though, these plants do not seem to respond to you like most plants would.
Maybe
as you guys approach the Tower of Doors, you will notice something quite interesting about this. The primary tower is affixed to the ground by large pipes and other such things that seem to run from the river into the doors themselves. Along with that, each of the 3 separate outskirt towers are actually floating off of the ground, held up by these large balloons that seem to be affixed to the bottom of them, giving it this almost ethereal, unnatural look as it shifts. And much like some of the other icons and large objects in this city, this tower seems older than most of the things around it.
Okay.
Interesting.
The courier will step inside one of the many, many doors that outline the outside of the tower and will basically vanish from view.
Hold on there. Oh, he does this sometimes. He's real quick on his feet. And Chavo will hurry after him.
Chapo, you enter the same door that the courier entered through, and you yourself also seem to disappear from your allies.
Shoot. Okay. Yeah. No. Z's gonna follow because now curiosity is struck.
Yep.
You end up in this tower, the upper left tower. I was going to place you around that. Z, you also end up there.
I'm gonna also go in, I'm assuming, same place.
Yes. If all of you enter through the same door, you would end up in the same tower. In a flash of odd sensation, you guys appear somewhere that you did not really expect would be there, as you guys are now upwards of 100 feet off the ground, inside of one of the floating towers from the
Dear
door.
God.
Oh, that's real cool. I know some birds who would like doing this. I don't know why
and
they
the
like us
courier
so much.
also is in this room.
God damn, this room is quite packed. Fuck.
It seems packed from the map perspective.
No, I
But
know. It's still a lot
yeah.
of people though in one room.
In consideration,
And
in fact,
also-
it's about to get
Oh,
even
we can
more
make that
packed.
smaller.
Yeah,
We
it's
can
about
make
to
the
get
pen smaller.
even more packed as you guys soon realize that you guys are not alone in this room. In fact, there are several individuals, all adorned in very similar outfits as the people on the outside. None of their skin is showing, except for the fact that they wear a large masquerade mask over their face where their visor would be. From there, you can see pretty much the only skin you've ever seen. Black, sickly skin is seen where their eye meets their masquerade mask.
Ooh, Z's ears kind of perk up a little bit. Interested.
I think, yeah, can we? Yeah, Chapo's gonna see the skin and he's gonna go, "Oh, hi there. My name's Chapo Barat. It's nice to meet you. Are you all feeling all right? I just noticed you got a little bit of stuff around your eyes there."
They all kind of simultaneously shift their view on you.
Also,
and
I
all,
love your robes. They're real nice. You have to tell me
and
who's made them.
all, and all within unison, they all say, "Welcome, good Chapo Barat, to the kingdom of Julianos. The king shall be awaiting you soon. Do not worry about our appearances, though we graciously accept the compliment. Thank you again." And they kind of bow and go back to observing the party.
Chapo bows as well.
The courier will step up to one of the several individuals there. He will kind of give a curt nod, and they will also nod back. And the courier will step through another door that appears to be on the left side of the tower. And from this high up, you would expect him to just fall through it and splat on the ground. But like the door before, he vanishes from view.
Jeez. Okay. I don't know what to make of the situation.
Yeah.
Should we follow him?
No, do not follow the courier. He has other deliveries to make. The delivery has been complete.
Oh, I'm glad to hear he got to finish his job there.
Z just takes a seat at the foot of the humanoid and observes these people back. Like, it's just curiosity more than anything.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask, where'd you guys get your clothes? 'Cause I would love to learn how to make them. A bit of a seamstress or a seamster myself, and I like making some nice clothes. I made these ones I'm wearing right now. It'd be real nice to learn some new techniques and such while I'm in town.
Your design is very lovely, good Chapaburai. However, it is unfortunate to say that we do not believe that your kind should wear robes such as these, as it would be very beneficial for your health.
Oh, they're medical robes. I understand. I apologize for if that came off as rude.
No, worry not.
Oh, that's nice.
They all kind of step all out through separate doors, and before the last one leaves, he turns and he goes, "The king is requesting an audience with you now. If you enter the door directly ahead of you towards the main tower, or the main base of the tower, you will be transported into the king's room. Do mind, keep your manners, remain gilded as always, citizens. Enjoy your stay within the Tower of Doors." And they all leave.
I suppose through this door.
Z stands up and heads
Just
that
go
way.
in.
I still don't know what that means, but it sounds so nice.
If you guys all enter through that door,
Yep.
you will be transported into the toppest, like the largest part of the center tower. I forgot to show you guys the design of the tower. This is not exactly what it looks like, but it is the closest I could find.
That's fine.
Ooh, that's fancy.
You will also seem to notice that the floor below you seems to shift and shudder in an almost non-Euclidean manner. A lot of the doors themselves also seem to shudder in this way. However, it does not feel like it's moving beneath your feet. It just looks like it is through your eyes.
Interesting.
Strange.
Indeed. As you guys enter this door, you will notice before you is a large banquet table, full of delicacies and food that you haven't really seen in most cities, especially simply because a lot of this is livestock, of which you have not really seen any livestock in this area. There's lots of meats and stuff like that, and at the head of the table sits a man adorned in very similar robes to the people along the city. However, these ones are far, far fancier than the others. And this, if you would imagine, is the King of Julia.
Oh,
The rotting king.
That's a fancy outfit.
Oh, dope. That is so dope.
That is a really cool outfit.
Yeah.
He sits, twiddling his fingers as he beckons for you all to sit in a silent motion.
Z does that. The humanoid will take a chair, and then Z will just sit in its lap. And with a calm voice, Z will say, "Appreciate the hospitality. Thank you for seeing us."
Graciousness is what I'm known for. Please, sit.
Yeah. Yeah, Chapo will sit down as well and say, "Oh, thanks for inviting us. That's so nice. I have to say, everything here is so pretty. Although the gardens could use a little tending, they seem a little, I'm not sure what the word is, but they seem like they could use a bit of tending."
Ah, you notice the artificial plants. Well, I suppose one like you would notice, seeing the connection to the grounds themselves. Nothing grows here, not even people.
Oh,
Everything here is artificial. I'm sure you've gathered by that by now. You all seem like a smart group of people. Please, sit.
I'm sitting.
Yep.
Good. I've summoned you here simply because I've taken interest in your escapades. My ears have heard of your escape from the main city, and I found that, well, quite interesting. For any enemy of my enemy is surely my friend, is that not? Some of the wise words of the great people of our past.
Oh, I don't have enemies. I prefer to make friends instead.
Of course, Chapo. Why would you? But the rest of your friends, well, they seem very ingrained in the politics of the land. Well,
No, you say you are the enemy of the main city that we had escaped from?
but of course, they hate everything in the city, from the grass, the people, to me, to every little insect that crawls along the gravel. But who am I to blame them? We do seem very unnatural, don't we?
That is not necessarily a bad thing, though. It's just different.
But of course, different. But is that not what people fear?
Yes.
People fear what they don't understand.
Yes, and it's quite a shame, really.
Shame. Yes, it is a shame. Kind of sits back. Please, if you would like, the food here is quite elegant.
I'll take some. Thank you.
I'm sure you're tired from your travels. I know the courier does not like people to take much of a break.
Is there like any like leave like salads, vegetables, anything besides exotic meats and such?
There's a few exotic fruits,
Yeah, I'll grab a couple of those.
exotic plants. Everything here seems very exotic and abnormal to the surrounding area. Not things that you would expect to see.
Z doesn't really eat anything because I don't think Z eats. Don't really think it would eat at all. In that way. The humanoid might, yeah. But as far as the cat goes, no.
Yeah, Chapo takes a bite of some strange looking fruit, and you see him pucker. He's like, "Oh, that's real strange." Oh,
All of the food tastes very different from what you're used to, but also very, very, very good. Like, every single imperfection of the food has been taken out and replaced with something different. The king kind of sits back in his large banquet chair. He goes, "Please, tell me what you think of my city. I'm always interested to hear an outsider's perspective."
I am intrigued about it. It is not something I've seen, and I've traveled quite a bit. It's not a bad thing, but I would like to learn a bit more about the city.
Of course, ask as many questions as you would like.
It's quite different from where I'm from, but in my opinion, it is as well.
I would imagine so. I've spent countless years trying to make this city as best as I can We're using archaic technology that no one here understands. But it is here, and it is ours. Please, if you have any questions, feel free
So
to ask.
Z does ask the individual, but he does it with a telepathic means, so the rest of the party doesn't hear. And Z is to ask, I saw that observation tower. The notes say that a celestial object is heading towards us, but yet has been abandoned. Can you elaborate a bit? And this is all telepathic.
He will speak out loud. Yeah, well, the observatory has been closed for quite a while. We can't exactly understand the technology, and any time we try to get someone in there, it doesn't seem to let us. We've tried for many years. Many good men have died in there, and their bones probably litter the floor. If they haven't been cleaned up by spirits, that is.
And the
Actually-
reason it's a telepathic because it's Z actually talking, not the humanoid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I get that. He still
Yeah.
speaks out loud.
yeah, I know.
Yeah. Chapo will just politely put a hand up and say, "Actually, I had a bit of a question about you mentioned spirits. I've been around a little bit. I find there's a lot of spirits in almost anywhere you go, and almost everything. I like it personally, but I've noticed there ain't not as many spirits around here as there normally should be. Even the plants outside, they seemed too quiet than they should be. I apologize if this appears a bit rude. I'm just a bit confused is all.
Worry not. Trust me when I say this city does not have many spirits left because, well, they are dead.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yes.
Is there a way maybe we can bring them back? Help them
Nothing
help them-
returns. They don't like it here. I've tried bringing back spirits that are smarter than the dumb creations that we have made, but nothing comes back. This land is accursed.
Oh. Well, sorry to hear that.
It is fine. We have grown used to it by now.
Well, if you ever need some help with something, just let me know. I'm always happy to help. Even if I'm being honest, I'm not totally comfortable in this city. Like, it's not what I'm used to, but I'm always willing to help. And I do apologize for my discomfort, but it's just what I'm used to versus what's here is all.
Worry not. Most people are uncomfortable here. It takes a special bunch of spirit sensitives to not open up their senses while in a city, right?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I assume that you guys, judging from the fact that you are not currently in a panic or anything along those lines, you've not opened up your natural senses much. The city cat here.
I tried talking to the grass, but it didn't really respond. So I just sort of kept myself quiet for a bit.
Did not see a reason I needed to.
Well, perhaps you should try it now and tell me what you think.
To be perfectly honest, I was more focused on both the technological parts of the city than that.
Of course. The city is very technological. We need to develop technologies and research the old ones that scatter the land if we live here for any semblance of time. The land itself seems to want us gone. Call it superstition, but
So Z is actually, cause curious, actually does try that a bit. Just Z doesn't really turn it on that much because it has to ignore the fucking bangles. So it's basically off unless he needs to use stuff.
yeah. If as you open up your senses, you feel at home. This feels natural and normal to you. Everything seems.
So
kind
it's weird when Z did that. It like in the physical demeanor of the cat itself seemed to relax a lot.
Seeing
yeah.
that.
To you, it seems very much like home.
The reason I say the cat because the humanoid has no rhyme or reason. It's
Spirit
just the
sense.
same. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the cat seemed to have relaxed a lot more, even at some points. It, like the animal itself, because you know it is a cat, it started to purr slightly.
I'm seeing that they're, enjoying it. Chapo's gonna take. He's gonna start opening himself up a little bit, and he's gonna say, he's just gonna start doing the same thing. He's gonna open up his mind a little bit.
Wisdom save.
Fuck.
Z's like, hey, it's my home. I love this.
I saw the thing. I will say, Raiju is back now that you have the bangles in the thing, but he has also, he's dead silent here. He doesn't seem like it. He's returned into the farthest recess of the body.
I am going to still try the opening up to the spirit senses, whatnot.
If anyone else would like to open up to the spirit senses, feel free, but the second you do, wisdom save.
Another 8.
Wow, y'all.
I told you I was low
Wait.
wisdom.
What do you mean by open my senses?
You guys are spirit sensitives, which means that if you basically focus yourself around, you can try to contact, wake up, or detect the spirits around you.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, wisdom save.
Z, okay, I find it hilarious how Z is like, oh, this feels like home. I'm okay. I'm okay with this. And just starts fucking purring.
Oh no.
Alright. Nathan, you kind of feel your divine senses tucking, like creating a shield around your mind as you
Nathan?
open up.
Francis.
Sorry, my apologies. I'm so sorry. Francis. Sorry, my brain just had a huge fart moment.
That's fine.
Francis, you will notice that your faith creates a shield around your mind as you open up. And you feel this uncanny sense of nothing is here. There's not a single real spirit and sense. In fact, the very ground itself feels fake to you. But you are relatively uneasy, but not uncomfortable. Hippo and Chapo, the second you open up your mind, there is a piercing, stabbing sensation that drills its way into your brain, and it is existential dread.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna turn that off.
I'm gonna turn that off.
Yeah, you can feel it prying and digging at your every thought as it kind of, like, you feel almost like everything you've ever thought, everything you've ever felt, being less harvested but more collected and cataloged. It feels like something is absorbing you and your feelings and your emotions and taking joy in your dread.
So I don't know if Napo's ever really. He's never really fully
That's
turned
funny.
it off so much as he's just like not focused on it as much. So I feel like Chapo is just just drowning in this.
I have, Demon, I have 2 spells that are for defensive purposes. Absorb Elements, which is more, elemental whatnot, and Shield, which is more physical and not. Would Absorb Elements at all help? Because that is spiritual stuff, elemental stuff, it's kind of one and the same.
This is no element you've ever thought that you could ever absorb.
And I just imagine as Chapo is just writhing in pain from this, would this be a point at which his spirit, Chapo's, spirits would probably try and protect him in some way?
They are absolutely freaking out. None of your spirits really have any clue what to do other than the fact that they're basically just kind of like, it's like trying to pack things back into a box that won't fit. It's trying to force you to recess back.
You're put in a circle in a square hole.
I wasn't sure if one would be there should be a time for one of them to try to force itself to be summoned and try and drag Chapo out of the city or something.
That is a possibility if that's what you'd like to happen, but for the most part, I'd imagine your spirits have no idea what the hell to do.
Is there any chance of deactivating the spirit senses here?
Yeah.
Can I try that?
Yeah, make another wisdom save.
12.
That's a lot better than the last one.
It is
You can slowly feel your mind kind of packing itself back away and forcing away that driving pressure, but then it feels like if you imagine a shield above your head, or in a 2D plane, these large spindly black fingers have basically just slipped around the shield and have started clawing back at your brain.
I think at this point,
It didn't quite work.
I think at this point, a spirit will force itself into summoning so it can start dragging Chombo as far away as it can. So I guess the only option I have here is summon these.
It will also be one of your 3, Wako, Tordo, Cerelius.
They
The
don't.
Rotting King, during this whole process, is simply sitting there observing you guys.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. They see the other people kind of freaking out, and then here's Z just fucking falling asleep. Okay.
Let's see.
So, just gonna display this spell.
Basically, just imagine, you know how a cat is very content and, just happy and, has that old demeanor? That's what Z looks like right now.
Yeah, so.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is going. So basically, just clawing its way out of the ether, a large, sort of wolf-like creature, but it's kind of hard to tell what exactly it is. It's sort of it's quadrupedal and it's kind of like a wolf, but it's sort of in that weird middle ground of kind of hyena, kind of wolf, kind of just anything with 4 legs, is what this thing is, and it just grabs Chapo by the collar and starts dragging him out of the room and as far away as it can.
As it attempts to do that, make a wisdom save for that spirit.
Oh, Jesus. What is it?
It is +2. It's a 14 with a +2 for its wisdom. From what you put in there. For the con summon beast. Yeah.
Just checking if it actually has proficiency.
It has a +2 wisdom.
Yeah.
It's not proficiency. I don't believe.
Okay.
Ooh!
The second that the spirit summons itself and drags itself out of the ether like you described and tries to grab you, it stops, its neck kind of twitches and cracks as it starts to tear itself to pieces and shatters.
Oh my god.
Dear Lord!
Holy shit. Yeah, so I guess Chapo's gonna, seeing that and hating the very concept of a friend in pain, it's gonna try and drag himself back to some semblance of whole. So, oh, there we go.
Oh, damn! Seeing your friend get fucking demolished by itself kicked you into gear.
Yeah.
Chapo, in an instant, you feel the shield slip around your mind and cave in on itself and just radiate. And you can feel that energy that was trying to get into your thoughts just disappear from your consciousness, and you've closed yourself back off.
So I assume that the bangles that are on the cat, because they are kind of spirits, it's not saying anything right now. Is that right? Or what are they doing? Because Z has completely turned it off. She hasn't turned it on. Z keeps it off because of the fucking chanting. So
Yeah.
There is, honestly, your bangles have at this point done basically what everything else has in this area, and they've started freaking out themselves. They haven't, you can at the normal rate of which your bangles sort of kind of melt and you draw the energy away from them. It seems to have kind of almost stagnate as it seems to forget its purpose for a moment.
That's a bit problematic.
And even then, as you kind of feel what you truly are kind of slipping out and affecting the world around you, it doesn't feel, you don't feel anything repel back that hatred you're so used to. Everything here is just welcoming and comforting to you. It's normal, it's natural, it's like you're being beckoned home.
Okay, that is interesting. Like, see, it's weird. He's sitting there going, huh, haven't felt this in a while. And that's what
Yeah,
it's thinking to itself.
Yeah,
This
Chapo
is
is
nice.
like tears in his eyes. Chapo is just finally like feeling whole again, and he just takes Saruno's head, just takes like gets up by Saruno, takes his head, and just starts cradling him like a protective mother, and just saying, "You're all right, buddy. Just take a deep breath. You're here. You're not there. You're here. It ain't nothing."
Okay. Go ahead and make a wisdom save again, Hippo, with advantage.
Right. 14. Yeah, so we take that 14.
So this is a very similar sensation. You still are trapped within this horror. You got a comforting sensation around you as Chapo kind of cradles you, but you're still kind of stuck, effectively staring into what is this metaphorical abyss in your mind, and you feel it staring back at you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's basically like comatose right now. He's just sort of writhing, right?
Pretty much.
Makes
Okay.
sense, because he's like primarily spirit.
So
I'm
just
gonna go ahead and roll something.
Oh.
I'm looking at what I can do right now, like how you summoned your thing.
Okay,
Demon.
Hippo.
Yes.
As you feel yourself failing that last wisdom save there, that is what, 3 now, right? Yeah, that's
Yes.
3. As that third wisdom save is failed, you feel you're used to having another presence in your mind with Raiju, but you feel a second presence slipping its way in.
Okay,
Ooh.
I'm just gonna scoop him up and I'm gonna say, I do apologize, Your Highness, but this place is not for him. And Chapo just sort of picks him up, and Chapo's just gonna
How
start
strong is
carrying. He's not that strong, only got an 11 strength, but he has doubled carrying capacity.
Oh, that's true. He does have that. Well, I mean, that only makes him equal to a normal thing because he's small.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm gonna drag him out of this fucking city if I have to, because he's in pain and Chapo needs to help.
Yeah. Can I summon in a artificial?
2, 3.
And artificials are kind of like built to live in this place, so I'm hoping they will be fine.
Yep.
So we have my little rock spirit thing there now. Yeah, I don't know what else I can really.
So if I can, I'm
Do
going to
as
try
a-
and
can't really cast
drag Saruno out of this tower, out of this city if I can.
Chapo, roll a wisdom save.
Okay.
Okay. You will notice that the doors themselves have kind of gone into this non-Euclidean shape of just shifting and melding and moving. But you spot the one door that you came through that has somewhat remained stable. You can see it kind of slightly warbling as it starts to meet and match the frequency of warbles as the other doors. But you know the door that you came through.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take it through that one.
Right. As you go through, you will enter that side tower again. And you will have to make another wisdom save to find the door out of here.
Okay.
It's a lot of wisdom in the city.
Can my artificial spirit help him out? Oh, never mind. 23 is good enough.
Druids,
Yeah.
let's go.
You would again notice that door. This one is almost gone into the mismatch of doors and shapes and movement. But you do find it and kind of imagine you rush through it before it kind of snaps shut.
I do.
Okay. You are now outside of the tower.
I'm just basically gonna keep dragging him until we're out of the city, and I only really know one path, so I'm taking him to the north.
Okay.
Yeah. And everyone else is still in the tower.
They've just been perfectly fine. I love the fact that the guy loves technology the absolute most is the least suited to live in this place.
That's hilarious, actually.
Francis, you are gonna have to stay in there for a moment. You can't really join them because you did leave with them. So the two of you guys are left in here after that escapade. The rotting king kind of sits there and he examines you and goes, "Ma, you are stronger than your friends. Oh, nice. Welcome to the horror that is this city and what sleeps above it, below it, inside it, to the right of it, to the left of it, to the top of it, to the north of it, to the south of it. Everything here is fat. It rots our very flesh. It hates us. It consumes us. But the technology here, well, the technology here could potentially remove it. Eventually.
So the Z actually sits up a bit on the lap of the humanoid and does speak to King Julianos a bit and basically says, "This is a comfort I have not felt in a long time." And this is all telepathically.
Well, yes, it is certainly something different for your kind.
Yes.
But I suppose it is your kind that is more familiar than it is. But that is only natural.
So,
Though I am surprised
is
that
there a way for me to... Is there a way for us to help you not keep rotting? Because it seems like a terrible fate to have to endure.
well, that is the question, is it not? I know that you have an aggression against the magistrate, and I believe that the magistrate might hold something to help the city. Something. I am unsure of what or where, or how, or what path they have taken to achieve it. But they have managed to keep the demons and the devils out of their cities, where I have failed. Despite my technological advantage, of course.
Well, I think we could politely ask them to tell us their secrets, read, torture the information out of them.
You are
Z
certainly
low-key
impressive.
looks over at Francis. The cat's ears kind of lowered slightly because Z is like, "I haven't felt this in a long fucking time. What are you trying to fucking do?" And that's basically the look this cat is giving this guy right now.
I'm trying to...
Oh no, you don't
I
know.
am
Z didn't
actually
say
trying
that.
to help people.
No, Z didn't say that out loud. That's just the thought process, hun. I was just saying the thought process of the look that's possibly the cat is given to the individual. Z didn't actually say anything. It's just a look. I was describing a look.
Okay, just...
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to... I know that it's a terrible fate, and these are like the only good people the only reasonable people I've met in this goddamn world. And I really want to help them.
I mean, that's fine. That's your character. Z's character is like, "Bitch, this is nice."
Reason is a lovely luxury that nobody really has. Though I'm glad you find my cause potentially reasonable. Though you will find that the rest of the city's denizens have succumbed more than I. My subjects are less my subjects than someone else's, but they get the job done, I suppose.
Don't worry. We will make sure that the magistrate gives us everything they know.
I would recommend, if you are going to do this, to head to the collective of all of their knowledge, and perhaps look for something on some form of mother.
Z's ear kind of perks up at the word mother.
Okay. I'll just note in my mind, looking for mother?
There's some form of mother that supposedly is what spawned these wretched abominations that haunt my people and myself and everything around it.
Oh, that's
Around itself.
hurtful.
Wait a minute. Is it... Okay, out of character question. Does he speak of the demon seeds?
Correct.
Very well. We will help you, no matter what. We will find this mother. And we will take her out. No matter how beautiful she may be.
Z's
I will
ears
warn you.
pinned to the back of its head.
I will warn you though, things lurk in the shadows where you do not seek it. You will come across many things that you will not like, that your people will not like. And if their sanity does not remain stable, if two of your friends have not, this will be a challenge you are not ready to take. I would recommend finding the resources and the path you must take. To gain the experience you must require, I would recommend perhaps finding a path through your research and your discovery.
Research, got it. Is there any way I can speak with the Is there any way I can speak with the white lady?
Is that out of character? I mean,
No.
she doesn't really just appear to people. That's not something she does. I think you have like something as a cleric that allows you to potentially summon your god on a certain roll or whatever.
Yeah, but this is only a 10th level.
Yeah, you can only really summon her at 10th level, which is a ways off.
Wait, so we're using milestones, right?
Yes.
Damn it. And when's the next milestone?
I'm not gonna tell you that.
Oh, no.
So with that and the information that Z just acquired in this conversation, Z will speak to King Julianos, who has been kind, and Z is a reasonable individual. May be that it has its own devious intentions on things, but it's not completely evil in that sense. Will thank him for his hospitality, and both the cat and the humanoid will leave the tower, but not before leaving behind for the guy a bit of token of appreciation. And Z's gonna leave about 5 gold pieces on the table for him, just cause, as a
Fair
thank you, and then leaves the area.
The king kind of gives you a look of recognition and acknowledgement. He seems to know what you are.
Oh, Z understands. He knows what it is. And will leave this area, but doesn't leave the city. What Z wants to try to do is, will Z be able to contact,
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go into a separate call.
That I thank him for his hospitality, and I leave in peace in order to eliminate the demon seeds, and let the magistrate know who's the boss, and serve him in any other way possible. Until we
I
meet
would
again.
recommend in the beginnings to search around the city for information as you go. Perhaps some of the local icons and landmarks could help you on your quest. There is a lot of knowledge here I've not been able to gather myself, nor spirits artificial, I say.
Okay. Alright. So, I asked Z. So I leave saying thank you, and I ask Z, should we start with the statue of the Starry Lady?
And the humanoid will reply, did not seem, a very monotone voice, did not seem like that has to do with much, but if you want to look more into it, then go for it. There are records indicating that there's some sort of celestial thing heading this way, but that is all I could obtain.
Alright, let's see where else.
For those outside of the city, you probably collected yourself out. Undoubtedly. You could return back into the city if you wish.
Fuck that.
So, Demon, could Z find a way to speak with its matriarch?
Yeah, yeah, follow me. I'll join me in a separate call.
Yep.
So,
Because this
you
seems
certainly-
like a very important thing Z needs to inform.
something that you very much could converse with the people that lay here. If you remember last time, the larger demon seed that you assisted told you to find a mouse of some kind, or some rodent, or some city-dwelling creature, and send it to the underside of the city, the sewers and the pipes.
All right. So, looks around. Does Z see any type like that? Is it able to find like a rodent or anything?
Roll me an investigation.
All right.
As well as a perception.
Okay, so I'll do okay, so there's perception, and there's the rest. Oh, okay, well, they're both the same.
Exactly the same.
Yep.
You do notice a few rodents scurrying on the outside of some of the pipes.
Okay, Z were to get the attention of one of the rodents and basically say, I need you to send a message to the Mother of the Mountains.
Okay, so you kind of you speak this and you enforce your will onto this rodent, and it kind of, in a zombified manner, kind of twitches its head a little bit and then scurries away to do what you bid.
And then basically the messages of what is going down, that these individuals are on the road to try to take her down, but during that process, Z will do his best of its abilities to deter them from doing that.
In a moment, you kind of return. You see another mouse scurry back to you, and the mouse kind of shudders and shakes, and a voice spews forth from it in a language that only you can understand as an innate demon seed. It basically says, "Good, my pet. Thank you for the information you've given me. Keep with this party. Perhaps the knowledge that you gain here can assist us. I recommend to begin by pressuring your friends into searching perhaps the gates around the city. Maybe they contain some information that might be useful to you." And then the mouse explodes.
I love it! I'm sorry, that was great. Z nods a bit, and with that, we get it back.
Uh-huh.
With a few like low-level spells.
So, Francis, you see the cat kind of scurry, collect the mouse, like catch it, and then release it. And then another mouse comes back and then dies. It kind of explodes. And then that was all that happened there.
Mew.
Cat things, am I right, lads?
Yeah, you deserve self-detonating mice.
Yeah, there's a mouse that detonated.
Yeah, I was just telling the Hippo, and I'll tell you, Demon. I'm basically as soon as I got him out of the city, I went to the nearest patch of a tree, a bush, any actual fucking plants, and basically Choppa was just gonna hold the sort of head in his hand beneath the tree and just sort of mother him, rock him back and forth, and try and get him calmed down and like.
The second that you're outside of the city grounds, outside of the walls, it seems like everything goes back to normal. You hear birds chirping, which you did not hear in the city. You hear the sounds of animals in the distance. Everything feels more alive and less, silent out here. The grass is normal, the trees are real. Everything seems non-artificial. It feels natural out here. With a second that you look even back into the city, you can feel the unnaturality of what the city is.
Yep, never going back there. Nope.
So Z were to look up at Francis, and the humanoid will speak in that same monotone voice. I did notice something odd about those gates as we were walking in. I'm not sure if you did. They seemed older than the rest of the city. Maybe that should be a place to start. Well, I was like, they disappeared!
Don't worry about the path. Accidents.
You there, Francis?
Good Francis. The cat is speaking with you.
Basically,
Where exactly should we go?
I noticed something very odd about the gates. They seem to be a bit different than the rest of the city. That might be something worth checking out. Besides, I think the rest of our friends are by the gates anyways, so it might just work out.
I think it might be possible that this wall is the only thing with real life in here.
Well, the only way to know. Let's go check it out then.
Yes, Hippo. Raiju has returned and is now fully in your mind again.
Z starts walking to the gate.
As you guys approach the gate, you see your friends kind of huddled underneath a tree in like a courtyard or something. The gate here is certainly very old, much older than the city wall.
All right. What can I roll to take a bit? Would it be investigation? I don't think it would be perception, would it?
What are you trying to find out?
If there's anything odd about the gate compared to everything else, basically.
Sure. Roll an investigation.
Okay. Let's see. 11.
Okay. Well,
Hold on. Let me just...
feel free. Go ahead and roll an investigation too, Francis. Z, you notice that the gate is, even just from a cursory glance, even if you just got slightly close, paying any amount of attention. Same with you, Francis. Paying any amount of attention to the gate, you can see that it's constructed in a manner that does not seem like it was made by an advanced society. This looks oddly primitive. It looks like it has been stone blocks were chipped and then brought here.
Oh. Z does speak up. That is quite odd. And that was out loud. Yeah, that was out loud. The humanoid. That is odd.
Yes.
Z walks out, walks out by the other two, and basically just reiterates how the gate itself does not match up to the technology of the rest of the area. It seems to be done by a primitive society. Which seems really odd considering the rest of the city. Why would they leave the gates alone? And not upgrade them like the rest? That's weird.
Chapo, like, now finally calming down a little bit, Chapo's gonna say, "No, don't discount the knowledge of elders. Just because something's old doesn't necessarily mean it's not chock-a-block full of power. And a lot more, and some things have been lost with time, which are much more powerful than anything we have now."
Oh, I'm not denying any power. I'm just saying it is out of place.
We'll just lost it.
That is possible. But I want to see if the other gates are similar.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose we could take a wander around and get a good look at them.
You sure you don't want to go through the city?
I am not
What a
going.
great idea.
No,
Not
no.
Oh no, Z's not gonna walk. Z's actually gonna go through the city because Z feels at home here. But
Well, Z can do that. We're not.
yeah, Z's gonna attempt to. Let's see. Hold on. Where's another? Z's gonna go to this one down here, number 4. And since it'd be a cat, the cat just takes off, and the humanoid is literally just trailing behind on a casual pace. The cat's like sprinting at this point.
Not drop up. Well, guess we're going the wrong way.
Meanwhile, I hug the wall, but that is like stay close to it, observing it more.
I guess we can go. Bruno and I go to the east, or yeah, go east to the number 7 there, follow along the outside.
I'll go on the wall.
I'm not going back in that city.
First step, I see step. Okay, I'll go west, you guys go east.
Show my players PTSD. That's great.
You have 3. We split the party into 3 now.
So I'll cover each group individually. Go to a gate that you'd like to investigate if you want to investigate any gate at all.
I'm taking the
Feel free.
world gate. 5.
Feel free to put your tokens anywhere.
Oh, 7 was actually the closest one. That's convenient.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and go down the list here. Starting with the numerical lowest. Z. The gate that you are at is known as the Akira Gate. You can tell it is named the Akira Gate because it has a large plaque next to it. The surrounding walls are very, very different. However, for you, the design seems comfortably familiar, almost similar to what the architecture is. Well, most cities. This seems like it was not built recently, but it is very standard to the city architecture of most societies that have survived to these days.
Got a 16 for investigation on the gate. A bit more.
Further investigation seems to show that this is very much done by techniques that are, pretty common. For how old this is, it's definitely impressive that this is using what is effectively modern techniques in city building.
Ooh. So you said there was like a plaque, right?
There's a plaque, and it is named the Akira Gate.
Does the plaque say anything?
Like I said, it says the Akira Gate, and it is basically underneath it. It says the gate of our ancestors.
Okay.
Now to Francis, unless you'd like to see anything else.
No.
Okay. Francis, the gate you have approached is the road gate. You can tell this is the road gate because it has a large marker stone directly next to it. The road gate, west of the large protective gate, with 2 guard towers built into its form. Its design seems druidic and primitive, as though it feels like the local forest is molded into its protective form. Just unnatural, considering the rest of the city has no life in it at all. It's like a breath of fresh air in an otherwise dead city. Is there anything you'd like to do around this gate, Francis?
Well, I'm just gonna take a closer look, and I'll make an investigation check. Oh! And that's nat 1.
From what you can tell, it just seems like a bunch of trees have grown into an already built
Okay.
tower. That's
Should I
about
just
it.
try again?
I'll say after a little bit, we'll come back to you so you can try again.
Yeah.
We'll go up to Sabruno and Chavo now. You guys are at gate number 7, the Akira Gate. This gate is built in a manner that you have not seen on your travels at all. It feels otherworldly and graceful, like a swift dance or a shaft, like a well-shafted arrow. Something that just feels graceful and designed exactly for its purpose and nothing more. Elegant and yet not wasteful.
Elegant but efficient.
Elegant
my
but efficient, correct.
Besides from investigation, could we roll like also Arcana?
You are welcome to.
That's a 13, and then I would also do investigation for an incredible 5.
Beautiful.
Chapo, you are welcome to do the same rolls if you would like, or if you would like to do something else.
Actually, I'm noticing there's a lot of like houses and like a lot of buildings around this gate. So I'm going to try and look around and see if I can find anyone who looks like a local who like lives in the area, and I'm gonna talk to them and see if they know anything about the history or any interesting facts about the gate.
Okay.
Try for persuasion, I guess.
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. You are considered a local hero, right, though?
Yeah.
You have the local hero background?
Folk hero,
Oh, you have
yeah.
Folk hero.
That's cool.
Then you could absolutely just talk to people, and they would probably recognize that you're some kind of thing out of a storybook.
I mean, I think they would figure that out anyways, because he's a capybara.
I mean, to be fair, they're cute.
But he's like the good guy out of the storybook, so they feel comforted by him.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and make that with advantage.
Okay,
We'll call it
awesome.
that.
There we go.
There we go.
18.
Okay. So we'll cover Stribruno, which you figure out first. Your investigation seems to come up a little short, though you can tell, obviously, that the architecture is very much different from the surrounding wall. It does not seem like it was built with standard techniques at all. In fact, it's techniques that seem and feel almost ethereal and otherworldly. The gate is like large, golden, and gilded. This is very different, to say the least. Your Arcana check, however, would reveal that there is a trace amount of magic that has been injected into this gate. It seems like the gate itself was made by magic, and is made of magic. However, the magic has since long faded. You can feel only the smallest sensation of magic within the gate.
I have a question. Can I don't know if I can use the same Arcana check or a different one to see if I would have sensed a similar type of magic in the manacles.
Sure, go ahead.
Different
Roll a different one.
Alright, that's a 9.
It's certainly something, well, interesting in the fact that there is a similar sense of magic. It feels like it was made by a similar, like, spell type, in a sense. It's a similar class of magic, if you will, but other than that, you really can't tell much about it.
Pearl.
Would that be like abjuration or something?
Yeah, we'll call it that.
That's the defensive one.
Yeah. It's very similar to that. But there's also a trace of a different type of magic, but you can't really determine that. Other than the fact that there is a small trace of something else, you just can't determine what class it is. Chapo, we'll go you now. What kind of person do you walk up to? You've got, like, traders, your average person that just seems to, like, walk around the streets. You've got, like, people who appear to be, like, caravanners who have come here to trade, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm thinking I'm gonna look for specifically. I'm gonna try and look for somebody who's like a local merchant who's like sort of stuck into the area and is maybe a little older. Someone who talks with a lot of people, but seems like they've been here specifically for a long time. So, like a local shopkeep or something.
Okay. You probably find some tavern in, like, trade spot somewhere within the city. just from your wandering. And inside, there's this old man, kind of like a scraggly beard. He looks like a very simple-minded individual.
I go up to him and I say, "Hey there, friend. My name's Chapo Marat. What's yours?"
My parents call me Seamus. I think.
No, that's a nice name. Hey, could you help me with something there, Seamus? My friends and I are kind of curious about all these fancy gates you guys got around this city. So we were just wondering, what do you know much of the history behind it? Maybe some interesting facts. We've never been here before, and we're kind of curious because they all seem real interesting.
I've got very little information on these gates. Suppose I could probably take a look at them and might jog my memory. What gates are you talking about?
Well, since we're near here, there's that fancy swirly one with all the gold and such, just over that way. I think it's called
Heifer Gate? I think it's a Heifer Gate.
Oh, that sounds about right.
I'll take a look at it for you.
Oh, that's real nice of you. Thank you.
He kind of follows you over to the gate of the city, and he looks at it. Kind of takes a step under it, kind of looks up at it, and then his mind kind of seems to blank over, and he just walks away, like he seems to have just completely forgotten you.
Oh, hey, Seamus. Hey, buddy.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Chapo Barat. We just met a few minutes ago.
I've got no recollection of a dog on two legs.
Oh, I'm actually what's called the Barapi.
Okay then.
Yeah, we were just talking about that gate there. You seemed to be a little confused for a second there when you went to look at it.
The Heifer Gate?
Yeah. Yeah, you went underneath of it, and then you looked up, and then you started walking away, and now we're talking again.
All right, let me do a look. He walks up underneath it again, and then
no,
same
no,
thing
no.
happens.
I grab his hand. I'm like, oh no, that's what happened last time, and then you forgot where everything happened.
I got no clue what you're talking about. Who are you?
Oh, that's real weird. Oh, I think you keep. Hey, friend.
I have no recollection of a dog on two legs.
I'm a Barapi, actually. And I think you should stop walking underneath that gate there, because you keep forgetting things.
We're simple folk. Please ask about the cars. Tell us.
Oh, I don't think
Our brains don't work so good.
Oh, I don't think that's true. I'm sure you're fairly smart.
You should see my aunt.
Well, I think I got some interesting things out of our conversation, so thank you.
Glad to be of help, I guess.
Yeah, if you ever need some help, come look for me, okay?
Sure, dog.
Oh, my name's Chapo Barat.
You do know that's not All Hallows Eve, right? You don't have to wear a costume.
Oh, no, this is just my face.
No, okay. And then he kind of walks back into his cabin.
That is so funny.
Yeah, Chapo just walks back to Saruno and gives him an explanation about what just happened.
That is strange. So, out of character, if I to understand, the gate thing is causing memory like loss. Pretty much.
As far as you can tell. Maybe you're isolated incidents there.
Oh, do you want me to walk underneath there? See what happens? Maybe it's just a local thing.
probably not risk it.
Alright.
Yeah, I would not risk that. That is strange. So, besides from the what appears to be memory loss causing gate, is there any other information you collected?
Not really. People don't. Not a lot of people seem to know a lot of history
Alright.
about this one. I don't think.
Alright, from what I got, I can't tell exactly what kind of magic it is, but these gates are definitely magical, well, at least it used to be quite faded magic, but it seems to be some sort of abjuration magic. At least what I sensed.
That's real strange.
Yeah.
Then I think we're gonna return to Francis here.
Alright.
Francis, go ahead and make another investigation check. We'll be closing out for much longer after this last gate is covered. 9 and 8. You there, Francis?
Yeah?
Make another investigation check for me.
Alright, if I could just get to my character sheet, and provided that it wants to load, I can successfully... Oh! Not as good as the first one I made, but still better than a nat 1.
Yeah, no, see, that's the positive of looking on things.
Okay. Your investigation reveals that this gate is very much some form of melding between the local fauna and the gate itself. It seems almost in tune with nature, though the trees have long since wilted.
So
There are now
basically,
these large dead husks that rise over and into this gate.
so basically these are simply like made by nature.
Seems like it's made by nature. Perhaps someone spurred nature into doing something. All you can tell is that there is very much two large trees that climb together to create the formation of this gate. That's all your investigation can reveal. Make
That's adorable.
as much of as leave as you can there.
I meant to ask just quickly here, Demon. As we were walking by, did it seem like there was anything special about the gate bordering the river as we passed by it?
The gate bordering the river there, it's much less of a gate and more of just a formation of natural rock that kind of builds its way across the top of the thing, letting in water in. It seems like the earth itself has formed up to make this barrier here around the river. Alright, let's go down to gate number... lowest to highest. Number 8, where you guys are.
Okay.
Gate number 8 is known as the Diella Gate. The Diella Gate is there simply because of, well, I should say you know that it's the Diella Gate simply because of a large marker along the wall that seems to have the Diella Gate written on it.
Well, I suppose I might as well repeat the same checks as before.
I'm gonna make a perception check this time, see if I can just look around look around the gate, see if there's any specifically interesting details. If you allow that, just sort of not really, seeing that there's apparently some weird shit that with you.
Okay. Hippo, you can tell that the magic in this gate is a lot stronger. In fact, stronger than even with such a low roll. You can tell that the magic in this gate is exponentially stronger than any of the other gates, as though it feels like this gate is better at connection with whatever is supplying it with its magic. Your investigation shows that this gate feels uncomfortably abnormal, yet it's very, very similar to the northmost gate, or even just the fourth gate. Very modernly made, yet it just feels off, like something is hiding within its walls.
Sageyo, Sasageyo.
Chapo, your perception check leads you to just notice the small abnormality that probably sends you down a quick spiral of panic for a moment. You notice that the gate moves and shifts in a very ethereal manner, very similar to the energy that was moving about in a tower of doors. In fact, it is moving far more violently than anything else is.
Is it like there's occasionally just like two images of the gate superimposed, or is it more like it's sort of warbling?
It feels like something has just taken a mixing or like a blender tool in Photoshop and just went to ham. So there's just like these ripples in like the air and the space around it. It just shifts and moves in a non-Euclidean manner.
Interesting.
All right, I am at this one gate that's unmarked, probably because it's not where a road goes through.
Oh, that's a river.
The Great Ward?
The Great Lady Brigitte River.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way I can, since water is a sign of life, is there a way I can, make an investigation check on that?
Roll me nature.
Alright.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
You can kind of feel, like you can see that the Great Ward there, is just a spot where the water itself in the river seems to curve upward supernaturally to create this barrier or wall that seems to connect to the other side of the river, and then the river just goes back to flowing normally. As far as you can tell, this seems natural for some reason. It doesn't seem like someone has forced the river to do this. It just seems like the river itself has just decided to flow upwards.
So, that must mean that there's something bad on the ground. Bad that's lower that it wants to avoid. A lack of life, maybe?
I will say to you that the river is very much like everything else. From what you can tell from the other side of the river seems alive and well. And then on this side of the wall, the river seems fake, artificial, like it's not there. The part that bridges up to meet each side is very real. However, it seems to like hit a wall and then just skirt up it before something artificial has been added to it to make it flow back normally. That's pretty much all you can gather unless you'd like to do any form of a check.
You know what? How about I do Arcana just because something seems weird, and if I cast Detect Magic, it'll put me down a slot.
You could
Okay.
ritual cast it.
Your Arcana roll gives you this sense that the spirit that is of this river, that makes up this river, it seems to be comatose. There is no response from it. It isn't sleeping per se, but it isn't responding or speaking or doing anything. And as soon as it kind of hits that wall, it just goes fake from that point forward.
Oh, that's how ritual casting works?
Yeah, it just takes. an
So
extra
you
10
don't need a
minutes to
spell
do
slot
the
for
spell.
something if you take the time to do a ritual?
Yeah, it takes an extra 10 minutes to do, but it doesn't use up a spell slot.
Okay, so 10 minutes in-game?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll come back to that, because that's something I'll touch on next session. I don't really want to touch on that this session.
Alright.
So that'll be for next session. We're gonna clear up the gate, and then we can come back to all of this tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but next session, next week.
Next week.
Um,
Although,
yeah,
here's the
next
thing.
week.
I met a friend in school who's interested in D&D, and we're kind of working on our own campaign.
Okay.
Just saying, because I'm
Mhm.
happy that I might not be able to devote my full energy to this one.
That's fine.
I mean, it's fine. You could also put it on a different day as well, if you still invested in this too. Because many of us, we play many campaigns at once, so.
Yeah,
I'm
All
in
right.
like 3.
well,
Yeah, DMing. I think I'm in 3 and DMing 2.
Yeah, I couldn't DM 2 unless I had a module.
That's what I'm doing.
Just trying to do this homebrew alone is very obnoxious. Anyways, let's cover up this 9-1 before we call it a day, because we're slightly over time, only about 10 minutes over. So let's get us showered up.
Yeah.
All right. So this gate. What does Z see at this gate?
This is the Ost Gate. You can tell this because of a small, writing on what seems to be tracks of some sort or some design. It seems hardier and far more advanced than the surrounding area, and it seems to be molded out of the stone itself.
Ooh, interesting. That wasn't a good investigation, but anything particular or? And I will do an Arcana as well because I am proficient in that.
Okay.
Oh, God.
One moment. Let me pull this up. So, I will say this now. Roll me a history check to see if you know what type of magic this is or where it comes from. But that Arcana is very good.
Nope.
Okay.
But I can relay it.
You don't know the exact, perhaps, design or location or origin of this magic, but you can tell instantaneously that this is not the work of spirits and that this is not the work of humans.
Oh.
This is some kind of other race.
Oh, damn. Okay. All right. I'll keep that noted.
That is the highest Arcana. You're pretty much the only one to figure out that these appear to be made by different races.
Holy shit.
Nathan had that idea. Chapo did not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Z is proficient in Arcana. History, on the other hand, not so much. Z can, detect magic pretty well. But as far as where it comes from, it depends.
So, you don't know the name of the species or which species it is or the origin of the species or any history of where they might have gone, but that is I think, where we're going to end it today.
All right, sweet. All right, everybody, I'm going to leave that episode here. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you dislike it, comment below your favorite D&D campaign you have ever gone to. But until then, I will catch you later. Goodbye!